Okay, today we're going to be looking at that classic Tom Petty song, Swinging, from Echo. And obviously I had the gain cranked up there for the solo, which is the first Mike Campbell solo on the song. You obviously would not play the rhythm part with that much gain. So it has a really simple chord structure. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at the solos, both the main solo that I just attempted and the outro. And yeah, one of the really underappreciated, overlooked Tom Petty albums, Echo. Tom was playing this particular song, Swinging, on his last tour, so obviously held a special place for him. But the album in general very much kind of downplayed both by Tom when he was alive and by Mike Campbell, and I think it was because it was a hard time in Tom's life. It was his heroin addiction period. He had just gone through the divorce. And the bio, which I would recommend, it's not great, but it's worth reading for a Tom Petty fan, has an interesting tidbit about the album Echo from Rick Rubin. He said Tom was struggling, and so Rick went to a Barnes & Noble and got a bunch of those magnetic poetry sets that have all the words on magnets, and he just spread them out on the metallic music stand. And so Tom would have the music to a song but not the lyrics, and he'd come up with these lyrics just by putting these random words together. And they didn't tell in the book which songs were affected by that, but I often wondered about the first lyric in this song, Hitchhike to the Yellow Moon where the Cadillac waits for her, whether he just picked out Yellow Moon and Cadillac, who knows. The chord progression is really typical Tom Petty, fairly simple chords with some hammer-ons. D, A minor, G for the verse, C, G, D for the chorus. The hammer-ons go like so. So D, hammer, third string. Most of the time we add that G note as a sus4 here, but he doesn't there. Come to the A minor, hammer on the C note on the second string first fret. And then when you go to the G, you noticed I struggle a little bit there because I tend to play my G like this, and you have to reach back for the hammer-on. So if you're learning guitar, it is better to learn to play the G like this, because then you can hammer on much more easily there. But it's that same note, the C note at the second string first fret. So again. Down, C, G, swinging. Yes, we did. We went down, swinging. And that's the whole song. Okay, so the first solo is both of the things that Mike Campbell does in this song are very typical Mike Campbell. So this whole song is very typical Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Brilliant lyrics by Tom, simple chord structure with some hammer-ons for the chord progression, and then again the two lead things that Mike Campbell does are very Mike Campbell. The first thing he does is he plays the minimum number of notes you could possibly play for a solo, but still makes it beautiful and incredible by his vibrato, some pull-offs, and a ton of distortion, sustain. So you're up here at the 8th fret on the second string, going from the G note to the A note, right? We're over a D chord at that point. So he's just really nailing that A note at the 10th fret, 2nd string with vibrato. And that's basically it. When you get down to the 7th fret, again, you're still on the 2nd string, you just give that a little half step wiggle, half step bend. So that's through one whole chord progression, D, A minor, G. He does that. Second go round, he goes up on the same string. When he gets to the 12th fret, again, half step bends. This is really subtle. It's not like the big wailing bends, it's just little half step bends. So again, mainly those 3 notes, 8, 10, 12, on the same string with some bends, some pull-offs, some... So it resolves on that A note, which is where it all started. And of course, A being the 5th in a D major chord, which is the song, the key of the song. Okay, so that's the first solo, the main solo in the song at about the 2.5 minute mark. And then on the outro, Mike Campbell does this other very Mike Campbell thing, which is to play arpeggios. He does so many arpeggiated licks in so many of the Heartbreaker songs, so this is really classic Mike Campbell stuff. You can see it on a live version. There's 2 main live versions that are on YouTube. One is from just last May of 17 at Red Rocks when Tom's not looking real steady, but he's still swinging, and it's pretty awesome. And then 1999 in Germany, and there's close-ups of Mike playing both solos on an SG, a Cherry SG, so you should check that out. So you can clearly see what he's doing. He's arpeggiating the 3 chords of the verse, the D, the A minor, and the G. Okay, so he's coming all the way up here to the octave of the D chord. Come all the way up to 14 and 15, same shape. To me it sounds like he's doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. But you know, you can do it however you want, but that's the way it sounds to me. So the 3 chords of the song, of the verse, D chord. So again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. A minor, right? That's your octave of an A minor chord. Come up here, 1, 2, 3, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then your octave of a G chord. Just like the A shape of a G chord. Right, if you filled the whole thing. But we're only playing the first 3 strings. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then resolving on the F shape of the D at the 10th fret. So again, classic Mike Campbell thing to do. So play around with that. It's just fun to play with the record. What I like to do to practice my little chord shapes here is do it all the way down the neck. So D, A minor, G, D, A minor, G, D, A minor, G, D. You should know all these inversions of the chords, right? The different forms. So this is the D of the D shape, A minor of the A minor shape, G of the what we usually call the A shape, D of the F shape. Figuring those out, it's not complicated, right? Look at Pete Townsend and Sparks. We've done a lot of things with those little chord shapes. Listen to the album Echo, highly underrated. The first side of it, Room at the Top, one of Tom's greatest songs. After Tom died, Rolling Stone did the 50 greatest Tom Petty songs, and they had Room at the Top at 8 or 9, I think. A lot on the list I disagreed with, but that was accurate. It's a great, great song, great lyrics. Mike Campbell does this really slashing. F, C, G. Again, it's a 3-chord wonder, F, C, and G. But he does a really interesting strumming pattern, and the lyrics are brilliant and tender and amazing. And then the second song, Counting on You, is also one of Tom's greatest songs. And Swingin, that we just looked at. 3 of his greatest songs just on the first side of Echo. Listen to it. It's awesome. Play along with them. You play along with all of them. Counting on You is the only one that has more than like 4 chords, and it's A minor, F, G, E minor, and D. So all simple first position chords that you know. Super fun to play along with. One of Tom's greatest vocals on the outro when he's just basically yelling is super powerful. Check it out. If you're a Tom Petty fan, you'll love it. All right, thanks for joining me. See you next time.